Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.
In today's financial news, U.S. stocks sank broadly, pushing the Dow Jones Industrial Average well below the 10,000 level, following a weaker than expected jobs report and renewed worries about Eurozone debt. Major stock indexes were on pace late to close out the first week of June solidly in the red, despite a big rally 2 days before and a slight gain the day before. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 327 points, or 3.2%, as investors showed concern with the government's May non-farm payrolls report. Non-farm payrolls rose by 431,000 last month, short of economist expectations for a rise of 515,000 jobs. Only 41,000 private sector jobs were added. The unemployment rate slipped to 9.7% in May and is expected to rise in June.
In U.S. news, when he ran for U.S. president 2 years ago, Republican John McCain told town hall meetings across the United States that illegal immigrants were all God's children. But at a church hall in Tucson last weekend, he spoke up for a tough new Arizona law that seeks to drive those undocumented busboys and landscapers from the desert state where he is battling to hold on to his U.S. Senate seat. McCain said to a clatter of applause, "The polls show 80% of the American people support Arizonians saying, 'Secure our borders.'" Arizona's migrant crackdown has hurled immigration back to the fore in the run-up to the November congressional elections, and embracing it has become a test for Republican primary candidates facing scrutiny from the party's resurgent right wing. A war hero who ran for president against Barack Obama in 2008, McCain styled himself as a maverick who was prepared to reach across the aisle to craft a comprehensive immigration bill with the late December Edward Kennedy, but that was in 2007. McCain said he wants more surveillance drones, border patrol stations, and National Guard troops to choke off the border, and the Obama administration on the need for completing 700 miles of fencing ordered by Congress. The hardening stance on immigration is mirrored in California's Republican gubernatorial primary race, where frontrunner Meg Whitman has adopted a tough posture on undocumented workers after attacks from rival Steve Poizner. Whitman, former chief executive of eBay, says she is 100% against amnesty, no exception, and has been consistent in her position. Although a Poizner ad shows her discussing a system for illegal immigrants to go to the end of the line and pay a fine to become legal.
In today's tech news, when it comes to tech news, Steve Jobs is all over it. Yet his on-the-record press interviews have been more rare than Obama press conferences. The other night, he granted an onstage dialogue at the Wall Street Journal's D conference where he cheerfully handled questions on the big Apple issues of the day. He gave only a couple of solid clues about Apple's plans, but in his 90-minute interview session with Walt Mossberg and Kara Swisher, Jobs presented a portrait of a leader brimming with confidence after having his visions endorsed by the public, both by purchasing his gear and boosting his company's stock price past the valuations of longtime rival Microsoft. Mossberg started the questioning with that milestone, which Jobs described as surreal. Jobs then adopted a stance he'd take throughout the interview, professing that he was less interested in what company he was beating or other issues besides making great products. It's a theme that he struck before, and that night it became a familiar refrain. Since Apple sells an iPod every 3 seconds, Jobs said, he seems to be making all the right choices. Anyway, he finally answered Mossberg's question of whether customers were frustrated by Flash-powered sites not running on Apple products. Jobs stated all people missed by not having Flash was a bunch of ads. He shrugged off Google's Android challenge by saying they decided to compete with us, so they are. He wouldn't admit that he felt betrayed by a former close collaborator whose CEO has been on his board, but throughout the conversation, Jobs kept making little zingers, which seemed to reveal that while he truly believes in his great product theory, the competition part is indeed personal.
In fashion news, plain white diapers are so last year. Huggies is catering to trend-setting tots by launching a line of diaper jeans. The Huggies Little Movers jeans aren't actually denim, but are printed with a jean-like pattern, including fake belt loops and pockets. Jeans have always been a mommy fashion must-have, but now it's time for their little ones to steal the style, said Stuart Schneider, senior brand director of Huggies, in a press release. The design helps babies stay trendy while keeping dry with the same revolutionary design and proven leakage protection that moms have come to know and trust from the Huggies brand. The diaper jeans are available for a limited time in June and July.
In today's international news, Japan's finance minister emerged as the leading candidate to become the country's next leader, one day after the abrupt resignation of the unpopular Prime Minister Yukio Hariyama. Apparently, caught off guard by Mr. Hariyama's decision, his fellow Democrats have been moving quickly to find a replacement and to try to win back public trust that was squandered in months of indecision over the fate of an American military base. They face an uphill battle in regaining the momentum that they had in August after winning a landslide election victory that ended a half-century of virtual one-part rule. Several leading members of the governing Democratic Party threw their support behind the finance minister, Naoto Kan, a sharp-tongued political veteran who has gained prominence by taking on Japan's powerful bureaucrats. Japanese news reports characterized him as the frontrunner going into an internal party vote to choose Mr. Hariyama's successor. The only other candidate to emerge was Mr. Taratako, a legislator who leads the Environmental Policy Committee in the lower house of Parliament. Although he is relatively unknown, Mr. Taratako enjoys the support of the party's shadowy power broker.
When you've got a serious leak, it's time for Leakender 2000. It fixes any leak fast, no matter what's leaking. Just spray it with Leakender 2000, and in minutes, the leak is sealed. Look, we'll cut this garden hose with a knife, then shut off the water and spray on Leakender 2000. Minutes later, the hose is as good as new. The cut is sealed. Leakender 2000 is a unique compound that fills and seals any crack or separation as it hardens. Why put up with gushing gutters, dripping drains, wet windowsills, and rain-soaked RVs? Leakender 2000 stops all those leaks, and it's yours for only $14.95. Call now and we'll double your order. We'll send you this giant-sized can at no extra charge. Order now.
To order, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-936-0300 or send check or money order for $14.95 plus $5.95 shipping to the address on your screen. Call 1-800-936-0300.
In entertainment news, illness has forced singer John Mayer to cancel his shows in Amsterdam, Madrid, and Manchester. The singer was due to play a concert in Amsterdam, followed later next week by another show in that city and performances in Madrid and Manchester. But he is returning to the United States, although no details of his illness were available. On John Mayer's website, they said that they expect a full recovery under a doctor's supervision.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.